We're live. We're live. Welcome to day 311 of A Course in Miracles. And I am bringing up right now the clubhouse room. So, as we do every morning, pardon me, before A Course in Miracles, is breathe. God morning, God morning, God morning. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm Reverend Valerie Love, also known as Kaisi, and you are on 365-day marathon of A Course in Miracles. Yummy. All right. As we do always, we are streaming live on 4tv.com. We are on the Christian Witches YouTube, also on the Facebook at the Christian Witches Club on Clubhouse. Bringing up now our Clubhouse room so that we may begin. We begin with deep breathing every morning. If you want to connect with any of them, they're all below in the description, as well as remember that all of our incredible, all of our incredible live streams, all of the A Course in Miracles live streams, all of them are, pardon me, all of them are running free of ads. There are no ads on any of them. And so, therefore, if you desire to contribute to the channel, by all means, become a channel member. You'll see a button somewhere around this video that says join. When you become a channel member, um, oh, the notifications are still popping up early. You might need to change the preset ones to the new change in time. It may be confusing to new people. Gotcha. So the notification is coming still on the old Mexico time. Gotcha. Thank you for that, Soul Whisperer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna look into that today to see what we need to adjust in the settings. So I appreciate that. And if you are so inclined to become a channel member, you just click join somewhere around this channel. And when you join the channel, that serves the channel and supports the channel in growing into the incredible vision that we have of becoming a global media company that inspires, You meet up with a lot of media. Not all of it is inspiring. Yes, we desire to inspire, to uplift. And if that doesn't work for you, then you can absolutely also do a one-time gift. Cash App and all that stuff is below, I believe. Yes. Soul Whisperer, I've had this in my mind for the longest time to have shows on the channel, to have a podcast on different topics where we can deep dive into different topics. There's so much in my mind. So much, like all of you, that there is so much in your mind you could accomplish and create. Yet, again, a focused fool can accomplish more than a distracted genius. We've got to focus our genius and take it step by step by step. And most of the time, it takes yay long to, in the third dimension, to create a very big vision. I have movies in my mind. I started writing a movie of my life, like a documentary style movie, or it may more be an action adventure kind of movie. Oh, we have movies coming. We have a lot coming, a lot. And so it's good to speak of the vision, write the vision, make it plain, and let people know there is a very moving, compelling vision that you are a part of. Cosmic Witch, how you loving, Wendy? How you loving? Haven't seen you in a minute. How you loving? Let's have a deep breath, shall we? We are on day 311. We conclude in 54 more days. Wow, I cannot believe I'm saying that. In 53 days, we will meet up in Mexico. Go to valerielove.com and join us at the celebration. Ooh, baby, some amazing people are coming to this celebration. Celebration in Mexico. We're going to take you to down here in Mexico, where I have the beauty of having a home base, one of my home bases around the world, a nice hub for traveling all throughout the region is in Mexico. And when you come down here to Mexico in December, we will be present in the room for the final reading of this year of A Course in Miracles on day 365. And then we party. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. The great invisible spirit. There is one life, and this life is a life source, the all. We declare that our lives are aligned with this one life, which is love, capital L. And we declare that nothing can separate us from the love of our source. Reflects this love in all its companions, including joy, peace, bliss, happiness, prosperity, abundance, riches, wealth, health, energy, vibrancy, sexual connection, tranquility, serenity, power, wisdom, understanding, strength, as we acknowledge that there is a divine architecture of greatness, a cosmic pattern of our lives that we see in full radiant splendor. Our number one job, responsibility, and passion is to be all we are created to be, to do all we are created to do, and to have all we are created to have. These words now travel through beyond space and time, pierce the veil, all the firmaments, influencing and effecting We are here live stream, let's begin, shall we? What is the last judgment? Christ's second coming gives the Son of God this gift to hear the voice for God proclaim that what is false and what is true has never changed. And this, the judgment, is in which perception ends. That's the last judgment, not Jesus coming on a cloud, not the rapture, not being taken up and people being left behind. The books are super scary, all the left behind books. No, we terrorize children with horror stories. No, the last judgment is the judgment in which perception ends. At first, you see a world that has accepted this as true, projected from a now corrected mind. The mind has been corrected. And with this holy sight, perception gives a silent blessing and then disappears. Its goal accomplished and its mission done. The final judgment on the world contains no condemnation. There's no some people are going to go to hell, some people are going to go get caught up, taken up in a cloud with the Savior. No, there's no condemnation because love cannot judge, love cannot condemn, and God does not forgive because God never condemned. We need forgiveness because we condemn things all the time. And unfortunately, if we condemn anything, we are condemning self. For it sees the world is totally forgiven, without sin and wholly purposeless. The world is neutral. Everything in it is neutral. And it is for us to forgive everything in the mind, have a corrected mind, so that we see the world as fully holy, as we see ourselves as holy, holy, without a cause and now without a function in Christ's sight. It merely slips away to nothingness. There it was born, and there it ends as well. And all the figures in the dream in which the world began go with it. Bodies now are useless and will therefore fade away because the Son of God is limitless. There is a quote in the book of Judas. Yes, the Gospel of Judas Iscariot. And in this Gospel of Judas Iscariot, which is called a Gnostic book, you didn't get all the Gospels. They cherry picked 4 and said, let's edit these and scrunch it and make it be on and on and on. That's a discussion for another day, for a forbidden knowledge episode anyway. In the Gospel of Judas, Judas and Yeshua, Jesus, are having a conversation. And Christ asked, or Jesus, Yeshua asked the 12, who am I? Which he often posed questions to them, right? And the book of Judas is really a really good book to read because you can find it probably at pseudepigrapha.com. I read it from the Gnostic Bible because I like to have the Bible in my hands. And it is incredible. The Gnostic Bible, it's an incredible interpretation of these texts. So in the book of Judas, Jesus is always laughing at them. He laughs a lot. He's laughing at them because they are scrubbing and doing everything for their prayers so perfectly. And he laughs at them. He walks in and sees them doing all this pomp and circumstance according to the letter of the law, because he's a Jewish people. He laughs at them. He says, "Look at y'all. What are y'all doing? You do all that just to pray?" And they're like, "You're laughing at us." They become miffed. How could you laugh at our sacred, holy dance of things we have to do before we can pray to God? They said, "We're doing this to your God." He said, "No, you're not, because I didn't come from that God." And I'm like, whoa. I mean, in these books, he's just turning everything on its head. And it's just so jarring to read. Anyway, he asked the 12, "Who am I?" And none of them, they wanted to stand before him and say, none of them could stand before him. He said, "Bring me a perfect, one of you, perfect, come face me, come stand right in front of me and face me." And none of them could except for Judas. Yet when Judas came in front of him, Judas averted his eyes out of respect. He couldn't stare the teacher, pardon me, straight in the eye. And he said, "Who am I?" And he told him who he was. Very profound. And then Jesus and Judas had a conversation. And in the conversation, this is what Jesus said that connects to this. He said, "You will be the one to set me free of the man who bears me." Mm. So, scholars talking, going back and forth over every line that has ever been written in any holy book. You can find scholars that have studied every single word and its translation from either Hebrew, Aramaic, into Greek, into Latin, into English. It's a lot of hops. You're definitely going to lose some things. That's why a lot of scholars go back and learn Hebrew, or they learn Aramaic, or they learn Greek. Well, what did he mean? This is going to sound very shocking. That Jesus didn't die on the cross at all. That according to the Gospel of Judas, which by the way was not written by Judas Iscariot, according to the Gospel of Judas, Jesus was praying on Passover Eve when, they came to arrest him. He was praying in a room. And when he said, "You're going to free me of the man who bears me," this is an understanding of the Gnostic way. And the Gnostic way, if we could call it that, because there's a lot of things that people call Gnostic that may not necessarily be Gnostic. It's incredibly nuanced. So we can't make blanket statements. Yet this is one element of it, is that there is a supreme being, Theol, we'll call it the Great Invisible Spirit, which is what they called it, the Great Invisible Spirit. Then there is the creator of this world, who literally is an archon, is not good, and trapped people in bodies. And the mother of all demons, according to the Gnostics, is matter. That you are literally trapped in this flesh, meat suit, your spirit. Your spirit is entrapped in a demonic world, an evil world, whatever you'd like to call it, a world not of the Great Invisible Spirit. The Great Invisible Spirit did not make this world, in other words. And there are a lot of spiritual traditions that say that. And the Gnostics say that too. And they have some creation stories of how this happened. So if you take that understanding that your great spirit, you're a spark of the invisible great spirit, your spark is inside, trapped in a body, and that you liberate your trapped spark, your spirit. How? By having an epiphany and by coming to gnosis. What is gnosis? Knowing who you are. You know you are of the great invisible spirit, and you know that you are a spirit, and you know that some kind of something's going on. And a Nobel Prize for the three scientists who proved that the universe isn't real. It's a matrix, it's a construct, and where it's matter, and matter's not real. Because according to Billy Carson, you could take all 8 billion people that are on this planet right now, and if you removed all the dark energy, all the matter would fit into one sugar cube. All 8 billion people. Because when you go down and you look at us and you go down to the tiniest thing, which was the atom, then you go, there's something even smaller, and then smaller, and then smaller. And then there's nothing, there's space. There's no smallest building block of the universe. There's nothingness, there's space. So if you removed all the space, all 8 billion people, what would be left, the actual matter that would be left would be the size of a sugar, could fit into a sugar cube. Ponder that. I like to ponder things that make my old paradigms just crack wide open. So I say all this to say that the invisible spark of the divine that you are is trapped in a body or inhabits a body. I don't necessarily like trapped because you can leave it anytime you want to. Yet it is encased in a body that's something great, spiritual in nature and in essence, and we feel it, we know it, we experience it. You experience many things far beyond your body all the time. You don't need a scientist to tell you that you can experience things far beyond your body. You experience it every night when you have a dream. Well, Yeshua said, Jesus said to this, you are the one who will give up the man who bears my body. He didn't say you're going to give me up. He didn't say that. He said you're going to give up this, the man who bears me, not bears my body, the man who bears me. In other words, there's a body carrying around and inside is really me. Well, the man that y'all are looking at, the man, yay tall, this, that, you're going to give up that man. And you will be the liberator. Basically, Jesus was just saying that Judas is helping to liberate, is playing a vital role in Christ or Jesus' ascension and being liberated from a body. Because Judas will give up the body. And sure enough, later on, they came in the last paragraph of the book of Gospel of Judas. They come and Judas points to where Jesus is praying. And they say, this is where it gets really, what? They say that Jesus didn't die on the cross because the spirit had already left the body. What? Anywho, this is not to tell you what to believe. This is to share with you information. Do with the information what you will. And my intention is to inspire to deeper study and inspire to gnosis. And therefore, when the Course tells us the Son of God is limitless, the children of this universe, all of us who came from the great invisible spirit, we also are divine sparks in a body. And that divine spark, the divinity, is limitless. You who believed that God's last judgment would condemn the world to hell along with you, accept this holy truth. For people who want to, believe in hell, it's all good. You can believe anything you want. If you are a truth seeker like me and read every book you can read and study and meditate and ruminate. Yesterday I was in my magic space reading these things and just meditating. Like, what? It's almost like you have to read like 3-4 pages and then just chew it. right? Make notes. I had to make notes on just one of the creation stories in that we'll talk about. Of course, we'll talk about all this in 2023. If people want to believe in hell, let them. Yet, there is a holy truth that is beyond hell. God's judgment is the gift of the correction He bestowed on all your errors, freeing you from them and all effects they ever seemed to have. That's the judgment, correcting the mind, judging between what is false and what is true. This brings us back to day one, return to day one again, when we go into the course and we find out what is the course? What is it? We did the introduction on day one. Go to day one of A Course in Miracles. And this is what it says. This is the crux of the whole thing right here. Nothing real can be threatened. Know what's real and what's not real. Money is not real. Houses are not real. Cars are not real. Your body's not real. It's not it isn't as it seems. Nothing real. Love is real. Peace is real. Joy is real. Bliss is real. Beauty is real. Abundance is real. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. It doesn't exist. So treat everything in the third dimension as if it really is an apparition. It's here today, it's gone tomorrow. If it can be affected by time, it's not real. So these relationships where I love you one minute and then I hate you the next, that's not love and it's not real. You're in an entanglement. Nothing unreal exists. Your hand does not exist in this fashion as it appears, nor does any of the body, nor does anything in this. I view it to be a very beautiful universe, still not real. No matter how beautiful the apparition is, it's still an apparition. It's not real. So that's why all of the Vedic scriptures, the Bible, the Quran, the Holy Bible, the Torah, the Tanakh, all of the Zohar, all of the holy books, the Egyptian books of wisdom and spirituality and Heka or magic, they all tell us the same thing. Don't attach to anything in this world. You will suffer. And Lord Buddha, super duper helped us with this. If you attach to things in this world, you're going to suffer because over time it's going to change, or over time it's going to be gone. And every time something goes in this matrix, if you were attached to it, you're yanked hither and thither by the lower mind that believes in loss. So, oh, I lost my mom. No, you didn't. She's standing right here in dimensions beyond. Now that's real because life is real and life is eternal. And you can connect with all life because you're a multidimensional being and you know you're a multidimensional being. You have proof that you're a multidimensional being. Nothing real can be threatened. Your life, you're a great spirit that can't be threatened. Therefore, you can relax. You can let go of fear. Nothing unreal exists. Your body doesn't exist. It's not real. It's a figment of our imaginations. It's a construct. Professor Donald Holland, if you have a hard time wrapping your head around this from the spirituality perspective, or the psychology perspective, right? Or the philosophy perspective, go to science because science helps me a lot. I love science. And Professor Donald Holland will tell you this is a construct. It's not real. As a matter of fact, he said it's actually obscuring what's real. And after you listen to about 5 Professor Donald Holland, who is a brilliant evolutionary biologist, corporations give this man huge amounts of money to help them understand psychology, the color of psychology, the face shapes, that are most appealing for people to put on their packaging, all of that. They pay this man tremendous. He used to do all these different things. I don't know if he still does it. He used to do all these different things to help, different companies consulting. They pay him huge money because what's in this man's brain? He has a beautiful mind. And he said they have proven with mathematical computation that the real is zero. I know, right? Zero. The mathematical, it's not 20%, not 5%. It's 5% possibility that what you're, the math proves, this is math and science, and the whole universe runs on numbers, that the moon is not real. It's not real. Now, while we're here in this big unreal playground, he calls them icons. And he calls your body an icon, just like when you look at this clubhouse room and you see all these beautiful icons. If I look at an icon, at no time do I think that because I'm looking at Zaire's icon, that that is actually Zaire. We don't get it confused and we use icons all the time. Well, your body is an icon. And the really bizarre part about this is it doesn't exist until you look at it. What? Like right now behind me, nothing is there behind me. Because I don't see it. Now you're looking at it, so you see something. If you turned away and didn't look at it, it wouldn't exist. And then it reappears when you look at it again. And you don't have proof that this is not so because you can't look at something without looking at it. I know. Basically, everything we were taught is the reverse of what's really so. So the scientists are telling us this. The more they peer and prick and prod into this universe, they're like, hey guys, this thing isn't real. It's not real. Spirituality tells you it's not real. That there is something beyond this dimension that is real. And the last judgment means the end of confusion, because no longer will you call things real that are not real. You'll know. Nothing real can be threatened. Your life cannot be threatened. Your life is beyond this meat suit. Nothing unreal exists. It's not real. Herein lies the peace of God. Oh, you mean I come to the peace of God when I get ready, when I get to the place where I understand what is real and what is not real. That's what the whole course is for, because people get all caught up in what's not real. Bodies, money, just doing anything to get money. What is real? Money's not real. We don't use money in dimensions beyond. Now, in this dimension, have as much as you want. Go for it. And since you're in this unreal playground anyway, pardon me, make it as lovely as you want to make it. Make it lovely. Oh, my playground looks lovely. I know the whole thing's not real. Then it will end attachments. You will no longer attach. No longer. Now, let's continue. What is the last judgment? The final judgment on the world. Did I read that? I read that paragraph. You who believed that God's last judgment would condemn the world to hell along with you, accept this holy truth. God's judgment is the gift of the correction He bestowed on all your errors, freeing you from them and all effects they ever seem to have. To fear God's saving grace is but to fear complete release from suffering. Who would fear release from suffering? Return to peace. We return to peace, security and happiness, and union with your own identity. Who would want to give all that up? God's final judgment is as merciful as every step in his appointed plan to bless his son and call him to return to the eternal peace he shares with him. Be not afraid of love. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. That's a big one right there. Be not afraid of love. It takes courage to not be afraid of love, for it alone can heal all sorrow, wipe away all tears, and gently waken from his dream of pain the son whom God acknowledges as his. Be not afraid of this. Don't be afraid of your own salvation. Don't be afraid of the only thing that can set you free from the matrix. Salvation asks you give it welcome. And the world awaits your glad acceptance, which will set it free. Let us accept love today. Let us accept our freedom today. Let us accept that love will take us to a place where we can see that all of this is not real. And we were in a big story about it. This is God's final judgment. Here, you want to know what the final judgment is? Here it is. You are still my holy son. You are still my holy children. The great invisible spirit says you are still all my holy children. Forever innocent, forever innocent, forever innocent, forever loving and forever loved. You are loving and you are loved. You are loving and you are loved. You are loving and you are loved. As limitless as your creator, limitless and completely changeless and forever pure. There's something about you that does not change. That is the eternal divine spark. Therefore, awaken and return to me. I am your father and you are my son. I am your progenitor and you are my offspring. I am your mother and you are my children. However you would like to say it, it's all the same thing. Come home to yourself. Capital S, self. What is the last judgment? And now, lesson 311. I judge all things as I would have them be. Judgment was made to be a weapon used against the truth. It separates what is being used against and sets it off as if it were a thing apart. And then it makes of it what you would have it be. It judges what it cannot understand because it cannot see totality and therefore judges falsely. We break off little bits of what we think are reality and we make up a story about the bit we broke off. And forgiveness says, I think I'll drop my bullshit story. That's all forgiveness is. I'm going to drop the story that I made up about this whole universe, about everything. I'm just going to forgive it all. I'm going to wipe the slate clean and restore myself to the moment of my creation. That means I return home to being what the Course would call being a Christ, or your Buddha nature, or your perfection, or your divinity. Let us not use it today. Let's not use judgment today, but make a gift of it to him who has a different use for it. He will relieve us of the agony of all the judgments we have made against ourselves. I judge myself as unworthy. I judge myself as undeserving of wonderful relationships, undeserving of money, undeserving of beautiful place to stay, undeserving of my dreams coming true, undeserving of my highest success and highest accomplishment, unworthy of this, don't deserve this, too guilty for this, too shameful for this, too afraid for this, I shouldn't have it, I shouldn't have it, I shouldn't have it, cancel, 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 cancel. We came to cancel, rebuke, and deny all lies. These are lies. We are relieved of the agony. It says agony of all the judgments we have made against ourselves. We were beat up when we were little. I'm going to tell you how these judgments worked on me. When I was little, my feet grew much faster than the rest of my body. So I always had big feet. Well, let me not say I had big feet. I don't know if I have big feet or not, compared to what? Because there's some people with feet way bigger and some with feet way smaller. Bigger than what? There goes a judgment. Bigger than what I thought they should be. And so I got teased a lot in school. Oh, it's just hellacious, right? I looked like an L. Well, my mom used to always buy me these cheap shoes. I wanted pro kids, right? And she would always buy me these cheap decks from John's Bargain store where they had the big tables and the shoes were tied together with laces. That's why to this day I can't do that. Ugh, they give me the shudders. I need to forgive all of that, right? It's a big story. Anyway, because I had judged my feet, I'm going to give you just one example of how these judgments work on us. Until you go in and forgive them all, forgive them all, forgive them all. These judgments worked on me so bad, and I was in such unconscious judgment of myself and my feet, self-loathing. Who should I have these feet? Oh, is there a way I can get smaller feet? Da, da, da. Look at this one with these small feet. Judgments and condemning. Looking at one little thing and cutting it off from the whole. If I was in a country where everyone wore 9, 10, 11, which I'm sure there are many countries. I mean, the Maasai are yay tall. Their feet are a lot larger. If I was in the Maasai community, it probably wouldn't have been nothing at all. You see, I broke off something from the whole, and I'm looking at the little piece that I broke off, and I'm making up a story about it. That's what a judgment is. I don't even understand what I'm looking at. Okay, well, because something is outside of the parameters of what the people around you would consider normal. Wow, that's a pretty limited way of thinking. Well, when I got my first job, right, which was when I was 13, I started working when I was 13 because I had to have money, and the entrepreneurial spirit was like, you mean to tell me that I can go out and make more than this little $1 or $2 that mom and dad give me every week? Even though $2 back in the 70s was a lot. Anyway, well, I'm going to go get it myself. And so I started babysitting. And the first thing I did was I didn't examine the judgments that I had about myself, that something was wrong with me and that I needed to do something about it. I didn't look at the judgments. I was 13. I didn't know to look at the judgments. Unconscious judgments. Something's wrong with me. I shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't be this size. Everybody else is this way. Do you see all the judgments? And this is about one issue. How many judgments do we have in our minds? Right? Okay. So, what's the first thing that I do when I start making money? I buy myself some decent shoes. I buy myself the shoes that I really want. Okay, progress to 19, 20. I'm working in the office. I'm making my money, blah, 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 because the Jehovah's Witness cult that I grew up in didn't allow college. So skip that. Later on, I went and did some college, but during that time, don't go to college. It's just a den of iniquity and drugs and sex and porn and, well, maybe it was. It was the 70s. It could have been. I don't know. I didn't go. Well, while I was working at the job, every time I got paid, I went where? To the shoe store and found the cutest shoes. Had a shoe obsession, which, I still love shoes. I'm no longer obsessed. I love shoes. I'm not obsessed with shoes anymore. I love them. It's not an attachment. I don't have to have them. I can go weeks and wear the same sneakers every day. Such an obsession with shoes that if you looked in my closet in the hood, I had like 50, 60 pair of shoes, every color, lilac, royal blue, red, pair of shoes to match every outfit. Why? What were all those shoes? All those shoes were an expression of judgments I held against myself. Examine your obsessions. Where did they come from? Judgments. I'll show you. I'm going to prove that I can get great shoes. I'm going to prove that my feet are this, that, or the other. Coming from, that was the outer expression, right? The shoes of an inner judgment about who. Self. Something's wrong with me. I've got to dress it up. I've got to correct it. I've got to fix it. I've got to do something about it. Judgments against the self. And if you look at your childhood, how many judgments did you make about yourself or against yourself? I'm not tall enough. I'm not short enough. I'm not tall enough. I don't have this. I don't have that. I'm too dark. I'm too light. I'm too skinny. I'm too. Where did all those judgments go? If you didn't burn them out, forgive them all. They're still in there, creating havoc. They're creative. They're magnetic because they're thoughts. So thoughts are electromagnetic, besides being many more things. They're still creating. What in my life is feeding my judgments. Judgments I made about me because of childhood experiences. Judgments. It says he will relieve us. I could go barefoot for days and days and days on end and tell you the honest truth. He'll relieve us of the agony of all the judgments we have made against ourselves. I see singers with judgments against themselves that they shouldn't be singing because their parents kept telling them, shut up. Oh, would you stop that singing? Oh, that singing's driving us crazy. Because what do singers come out doing? Singing everywhere. They're singing. Oh my God. And they made a judgment. Why am I always singing? Something's wrong with me. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be like this. I should shut up. I should, until one day they believe those judgments, cancel, deny, rebuke. They believe those judgments and they won't stand in front of people and sing because that's what they were called to do. That's who they are at the essence. How many artists were drawing on the wall, super creative, and having a ball in complete bliss? And here come a parent, a guardian. Oh my God, you ruined the wall. Stop it. Sit down. I'm taking your crayons away from you for 2 weeks. Sit down. Look at what you did. And maybe even worse. What did the kid do? Judgments against self. Something's wrong with me. I shouldn't be like this. I should be more like them. I'm bad. I'm not good. I do not good things. Do you see? Shame and guilt are born in a completely clear Christ consciousness. Judgments we have made against ourselves cause agony. And reestablish peace of mind by giving us God's judgment of his son. The God's judgment is you're holy, you're loved, and you're lovable. Everything's perfect, everything's working out for you. You're happy, and you were made to be happy. That's God's judgment. Here is the prayer. Father, we wait with open mind today to hear your judgment of the Son you love. We wait with open mind today. We're waiting for the judgment. Now, we're usually afraid of God's judgment. Oh my God, I'm going to go to hell. No, the judgment is you're perfect, you're holy, you're complete, you're real. You are of me. You're limitless. That's the judgment. And let me hear that judgment, because it's judging between what is wrong and what is right. We give our judgments to God because we're only judging something that we've snipped out of the whole and are looking at this tiny little piece of it in front of our face, and we can't see the whole. And then, of course, we're going to come up with a misperception, something that we're thinking in the mind, or a group of things that we are thinking in the mind that will require correction. Father, we wait with open mind today to hear your judgment of the Son you love, capital J judgment. We do not know him. We don't know the true self that is the love of God, the true self that is loved by God, the true self that is only loving. We don't know this self yet, and we cannot judge. And so we let your love decide what he whom you created as your son must be. We let love decide, what am I? We let love decide. We let love, capital L, love decide who we are and what we must be. That is A Course in Miracles, lesson 311. We have just entered part 2, 10. Number 10 is what is the last judgment? Here we are. For lessons 311 to 320, we're in the last judgment. What is the last judgment? And today is lesson 311. We're here every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. If you are so inclined and you have been here every single day, welcome. You are loved. If you are here and this is your day, welcome. You are loved. All the days are here. If there is some kind of challenge with a day on one platform, like if you don't find it on Clubhouse, go to YouTube, 2 channels on YouTube, ValerieLoveTV.com and ChristianWitchesTV.com on YouTube, or go to Facebook if you love Facebook. Go to the Reverend Valerie Love Facebook fan page. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. And love cannot judge. So drop all the judgments about and against yourself. Reverend Valerie Love at your service, ValerieLove.com and ChristianWitches.com. I just want to let you know what's coming up this week. Coming up this week is big week. Today is Monday, and I do want to let you know that the pricing for the golden tickets goes up tonight after midnight. So you want to go to soulexcursions.world. I'm going to put it in the chat so that you know what's happening tonight. Soulexcursions.world. I want you to go there, and this is our travel company for all of our retreats and events. I also want you to know that on Tuesday night, we have 2 things going on. On Tuesday night, we have the challenge going on, the Soul Excursions Travel Challenge, and we're going to be talking all about Greece. So meet us on the YouTube channel and in the Soul Excursions group, and we're diving all into Greece. I'm going to share with you some of the most amazing things about Greece. I have footage, I have all that. We haven't talked about Greece. And then our authors that are in the ACIM book, you were on with you on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday, Wednesday, I have an incredible discussion with the incredible Max Tucci, interviewing him on all the platforms. Max! Friday, I leave to go to Vegas for a book conference. Well, I'm going to go to New Orleans first, hang out with me and my daughter are going to hang out for a while. And then I'm going to a book conference. I'll be in Vegas next week. And more deliciousness to come. So I just want to let you know what's happening this week. All the details are at ValerieLove.com. Christian, there's one other thing happening too for Christian Witches this week.com, and that is on 11/11. On 11/11, I am teaching a free class that's open to everyone on how to be a Christian witch. If you wonder how it works, what's what with it, go to ChristianWitches.com. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up for us, because this class happens this Friday. ChristianWitches.com. It happens this Friday. And so when you go to, it happens on 11/11. So when you go to ChristianWitches.com, you see it right there on the first page of the website. If you are seeing it after the fact, this is the I'm wearing. This is the cloak, and this was in Salem, where this was filmed, where these pictures were taken. I think Zaire took this picture, actually. It's in Salem, Massachusetts, which capital of the United States, I think. This cloak was gifted to me by the mystery school students, and I love it. I love it so much. It's probably one of my favorite clothes. So that is the mystery school. We have that coming up on Friday, coming up on 11/11. Okay, on 11/11. That's it. You're loved. Peace.